So now we go deep into the node. You can see if you hover over to the node, you can see some wheel popping up. See, it's like, wow, well designed though. So to show that what's that, I need something to connect. Okay, so you can notice two dot up and down, and one, two, three, four, button kind of thing in all of the node. This is the connecting node. So in some nodes there will be two connecting nodes, there will be 4 connecting node, etc, etc. You can also see here the connecting node 2 as well. In the future classes, all the node will have either 1 or 2 connecting node. So this is to connect what is previous node. If there is a node here, the top one is to connect the previous node, and the down one is to connect the whatever there is a next node. This is what is a node tree. So you can arrange like a tree. Okay, so for further explanation, I will bring a node called transform node. All right, so this is like very often used node. So if you press tab or right click, I press right click. I like doing that. So you go to the manipulate. So we need to manipulate the geometry, right? So there is a tab called manipulate, and you could see transform. There's a bunch of other nodes. So for now, transform, it's very important that you will be using tons of transform node in coming classes. So click that. So you can see two nodes. One is to it says like require a transform geometry. So it is looking for something to connect. So I connect this to here. So see, this is also waiting to connect with something, and this of course needs something to get connected. All right, so I'll bring one more transform node. My goal is to show you what is all of these does. So that's why I'm bringing a node to show you what exactly this does. So I'll bring another transform node also. You can bring thousands of same node again and again. It's up to you. So I'm bringing 2 node, and even this is asking to I need something to connect, so I connect it. So right now I've changed the size and stuff, so I'll make it to default. So to do that, right click and revert to default, or Ctrl and middle mouse. Okay, so and here I play Ctrl and middle mouse so that I get the revert positions. So transform is nothing but just the name itself. It helps to transform. So now you must be having a doubt that like why do we need a transform node? We can do everything from here, right? So that's the beauty of Houdini. We can actually control anything and everything. So what does I mean by that is that, like, I have my geometry right in the middle, and I bring a transform node. I look from here to see that node. Blue is what says that okay, this is what you display. Node is basically viewing from here to here. Okay, so from here you can see what is up here. So in layer base, it's like stacking up 1, 2, 3, and you get to see what is on top. So what you see on top is what displays in the viewport, in Photoshop or After Effects, stacking up. Okay, but in node base it's opposite. It's like what is stacking down. Okay, stacking down. So if you view from here, so it's gonna display till here, right? So I'm not viewing this one, I'm viewing this one. I'll show you something. So I'll move the transform. I'll move this to like 4 or 3. So I move the object to 3, and then so I name it for the name sake. I made position. I change the position, and then I again bring a transform node, and you could see the as a default, the pivot is in the middle. All right, so which is a handy thing, man. So it's like now you can rotate like this, you can rotate, and of course you can change the size. If I do this, I get a temporary ghost view, and if I like, that way I can see like, okay, what is happening in each node. Just a ghost representation only. So now see, you can do a lot of stuff with transform basically. So I'm saying, okay, rotate. So I rotate, yeah, right. So of course you can animate as well. So I'll tell you how to animate. So this is a timeline. Right now there is no animation happening, so it's empty, nothing moving around. Hence play button, stop button. So to do the animation, I'll put 0 in the beginning. So I'll say, so if I go right click, I can say keyframe, set a keyframe. This is one way, or you can do alt, hold down alt and click, so you get a starting keyframe. So right now it's turned into green, which says like, yeah, there is something happening in the frame. Okay, so now you change to maybe 120 and put a value, middle mouse, put a value brown. I don't know what color is it, yellowish, brownish. So that means it didn't take, it says like there is something happening, but it did not take the keyframe. So again, you have to hold the alt button and left click, and you get a green color which says, okay, I have a keyframe here as well. So you can see here as well, there is a green happening and here is happening. So there's 2 keyframe we made. Also it's here. Okay, so the last one I will do from here. Okay, I clicked here again, boom, right? So now let's see, I'll take the frame to the first and then play button. So see, so if you notice, it's too fast, right? It's too fast. That's because down here there is a real-time toggle. So if you click real-time, so then it will move 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, like that. So let's see that. Okay, from here. So now see, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. Exactly, it's the real animation movement. The other one is just quickly show you what's happening. So again, here if you go here, you can control like how many frames you want. If you go here, you can say that, okay, my worksheet is maybe 100. I'm working only 100, and close it. So I'm not doing anything here because we can do that from here. It's like if you want 300 frames, you click go here, then 300 frames. If you want 100, you click here 100. This is where the global animation takes one, and this one is just to like enlarging the timeline, and also you can put a value, which frame you want to see, 24 frame, so it jumped to 24 frame movement. Okay, so that's animation, very easy to animate. So that's the use of transform. There's plenty of use of transform node, just a simple one. Still you have a control over position. You can go up, you can have the control of the position. See, you get the same animation from where it started, and also you can change the shape. This is a simple example of procedural of Houdini. Okay, so that's why transform node is very important. So now let's get back to the wheel thing. Okay, so what if, so if you hover over, you can see bunch of fancy stuff, right? So first we will start with the yellow. The blue is what you see, so I show you that, like if you want to see from here, then this one. If you just want to see the first node, you click here and click on the node, then you get that. Second, what's happening. So third, what's happening, and you can always can stop, like You can delete it by pressing delete, and you can bring it back by Ctrl Z. That's basic stuff. It's up to you. Like if you want to stop from here, you can stop, and just if you don't want to use it, keep it aside and make this as the visible thing. And if you go, that's the visible thing you are getting. And now if you press, so watching from here, if you press play, there is nothing gonna happen, because this is where the animation happen. Animation is triggered, so you have to go here, then only you could see, okay, the animation, right? So if you wish not to do the animation, then don't click it. Either you delete it or make the visible, whichever you want. Okay, so that's the use of blue. And yellow, so again I'll go watch from here. Yellow, so yellow is basically ignore. So if you want to ignore this middle node, then you can see bypass or ignore. So it's like it's actually bypassing it. So it's like if you click the yellow, then it will bypass here. So they will ignore this node, ignore only, it won't delete, just ignore, and then just go, the node will be directly passing through, bypassing it. So that's what bypass means. So if I bypass it, yellow, then the position, I raised it up to what, to 4, right? I'll make it simple, 4, right? So if I bypass it, it's gonna take the position of this one, the previous node of that, so which is in the middle. So if I go bypass it, see, it's in the middle, and now if I press play, it only rotates there, because our pivot point and position is bypassed. Okay, so that is bypass. Whatever node you have, you can bypass it. So if you have like another transform node, I'll bring another transform. So that's another simple method. If you press tab, and you can search the tab. If you know the name of that node, then type in TRAN, transform, boom, easy, right? So easiest way of getting that. So now if you wish to bypass the animation, then you can so I'll bring it little up, so that just, so whatever this node has, so which is like rotation, animation, it will ignore that. So if you go here, it's up there. So it's like it has a pivot point changes, and it ignored the rotation animation node, and it went up. Okay, so if you want that, but if you wish, like, okay, let me see what's happening. So this gonna give animation again. So it's like now you have animation happening. See, I hope you see that. I'll make it big. Okay, so see, you can see that. Bypass, ignore it. Right, so the next one I want to show you is that the template. You can see here, however, you can see template or selectable template. So what is that? So to show all of this, I need some node. That's why the bypass also, you need a node. So without a node, I can't show you what is bypass. If you click there, that is like temporarily. If you click outside, it's gone. If you click temporarily, it's showing, and no. So template is basically, it gives you a template, like it's a fixed template. I hope you see this. So you fix template, like if you click outside, nothing gonna happen. And same with the, it need not to be connected node tree. It can be one is outside. Like you can click on that template, you can see, I will just increase, so you can see the spear. Okay, similarly you can see the torus. So I will scale the torus. Okay, you can see the torus as a kind of ghost, but if you click outside, nothing's gonna happen. If you click here and then this node's ability is gone. So if you click here, it's gonna give you that, but template, it's gonna always stay there. And what if you want to see the template as a solid? Of course, you can see template as solid by holding on Ctrl and clicking the purple. So now you can see that solid. Still, we are viewing this one, but this dark pink is just solid template, right? So which will be handy. It's coming in coming classes, will be handy. Like if you want to see the previous node where exactly it's lying under, you can see that, like if you want to see, okay, where exactly this box was first, so you can see, oh, okay, it is here. So like that, you have a visibility options. Even though the display is this one, you can also display other node as well as a template. Okay, so three method. One is by just clicking on the node, and next one is one click pink, which is template, or holding on Ctrl and click. Okay, so that's what bypass and display and transform is. And there's another one, it's called lock. So I'll tell you what is lock. So this lock is the least used thing in Houdini. Use of this node is to lock the geometry, lock whatever you see, and which will make the file size bigger. I'll show you what I mean by that. So what do I mean by that? Let's have a look. So I'll bring a new geo. You don't have to follow along, just watch. So I'll bring a file node. So this is basically how you can bring a geometry. So you see this, I bring this knife which is in my asset, and I will go file and save as. I've pasted to. So this is without lock, so I go without and accept it, overrate it, and then the next one I go with this, I go save as with and save it, overrate it. Right now, let's see the property. I go to the property, this is without and this is with. So see the difference. Is 100, discount the size is 100, but here it is 456. So size is different, right? So that's what it happens. So what's happening is that, so when we click this one, so when we send someone this file, it's gonna give even this model along with it, right? But in this case, if it is not there, so without this lock, then we have to send the file, this file separately, so that he can give the directory and open it. So now you might be wondering, so this is the good method, right? No. Why? So if we, right now, this is for files like this, files like knife and stuff, is very simple. You can use that, but I won't appreciate doing that. So imagine if this file has like 100 MB of size, then your Houdini file will be of like maybe 200 MB. So which 200 MB, which will be very heavy for Houdini to read, so which then makes you a lot of crash. The number of crash will be like too high. So that's why we don't encourage this method, because it's gonna crash like most of the time. So it's but there is a different beautiful way of Houdini file structure, which I'm gonna tell you. next lesson, in next chapter, when we start creating a project. So that will be really like very helpful, handy, and whatever you name it, you can file transfer, like you can share your file to anyone, and without any error or break, your friend can get that file, friend or colleague or whatever, whoever, right? So that's about lock. And the next one I want to introduce is that node info. So node info is the property of the display. The node is transformed and the object has a 0.8, primitive 6, and etc, 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 and memory is 2.80k, and the memory and last cook, it's like it took 12 millisecond to load. Even if you know 3D program, you will be surprised to see what are these points and primitives, right? In other 3D program, there is polygon, vertices, and edges, but here there is no edge except points and primitive. So I'll tell you what are these, and also you can see a guy sitting under here, point P3 or float, pause, address, kind of. This is very important. This is the key feature of Houdini. So this is for later, and this is what we're going to do now. We will be opening this node back and forth many times in the coming classes. So you have another easy method to do that is like holding on the middle click. Also you can get the info. So just hold on the middle click, you can do that. Hold on the middle click, right? I'll delete all of this. So we will start with the grid. You can right click and go to primitive and look for grid. You can also find similar wheel in the object level. It's the same. There's a node info, and there is one selectable and display exactly what it does inside the geometry level. And selectable is nothing but, I'll just quickly bring a box. All right, so there's a box, and if I now in the viewport, now I can select. If I go to the selection tool, okay, selection tool, I can select this object and this object, right? Both. But if I said don't select this one, it's like it is now the weak one, which is the grid is now non-selectable. So now I can only select the box. So that's it about selectable.